stripping people of their citizenship, assassinating them on the battlefield. That's how our allies, France, the UK, and the United States handled their homegrown jihadists who joined ISIS abroad. So why is Canada so weak that it wants to rehabilitate these traitors? The Canadian government is indeed offering reintegration for returning ISIS fighters and jihadists, and this should have all Canadians very concerned. As ISIS is being decimated on the battlefields of Syria and Iraq following new direction under General Mattis and President Trump, ISIS fighters with citizenship or roots in the West have two choices. First, they can go find another soft spot such as in Northern or Eastern Africa to continue their fight, or return home to the West. Canada is no different, and according to CSIS Director Michael Coulombe, 60 of the 180 Canadians who have left to fight abroad have thus far returned home. It is this return home and the security threat that really become a problem. The Telegraph, using data from MI6, reports that 425 of the 850 UK nationals who left to join ISIS have returned to the UK in the last 5 years. And because there are legal issues surrounding what to do with these jihadis and the ensuing security threat, the UK is left with two options. First, if they are a dual national, the UK can strip their citizenship while they are abroad, which according to The Guardian, they have done so to 150 such individuals already. Or, as Rory Stewart, the UK Minister of State for Africa, told BBC, quote, "I'm afraid we have to be serious about the fact these people are a serious danger to us. And unfortunately, the only way of dealing with them will be, in almost every case, to kill them." Stewart continued, "They believe in an extremely hateful doctrine which involves killing themselves, killing others, and trying to use violence and brutality to create an 8th century or 7th century state." Unquote. Now just for a second, can you ever imagine a member of our Liberal government suggesting that? Well, of course not. But here is what Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodale had to say to the CBC last week on this topic. Quote, "Canada does not engage in death squads. With the battlefield activity winding down, there is a very real question about where the foreign fighters go." Unquote. Well, we know for one thing that the Trudeau government is against the stripping of Canadian citizenship, even if they are terrorists. This was a practice the previous Harper Conservatives employed. But in June this year, the Liberals passed a law forbidding the stripping of Canadian citizenship over terror connections. Now, once they are home, we don't appear to be taking the threat very seriously at all either. Candice Malcolm wrote in September for the Toronto Sun about one former ISIS member who had returned to Canada. Quote, "The only reason authorities became aware of this former ISIS agent's presence in Canada was due to a social media post he wrote about how he had once been part of the terrorist army. Even after that, Canadian officials merely paid him a visit and began monitoring him more closely. He wasn't arrested or detained." Unquote. Between Goodale's comments and the actions of our authorities, it does appear that our Liberals believe that being nice and compassionate to terrorists returning home is the approach Canada wants to take. But where are the treason charges? Where are the terror-related charges for these people? I don't see them, and I have to wonder why. Now, let's go one step further. Let's see how France, not exactly a bastion of strength in dealing with terrorism or immigration, approaches the issue of jihadists returning to their country. Yes, socialist France under Emmanuel Macron, which has seen nearly 2,000 of its citizens travel abroad to join the jihad, goes even further by actively targeting their own citizens on the battlefield, using special forces kill squads to ensure they do not return home in anything other than a coffin. While some have called this a legal gray area, France is doing what they need to do to ensure they don't have another Charlie Hebdo or Bataclan style attack, where members who carried out the attacks had indeed traveled abroad in advance of their attacks to get whatever training they needed. I hate to say it, but the main reason France, the UK, and the US, using drone strikes, are willing to take such a strong and necessary action against their own citizens when they join terrorist organizations is though three nations have seen firsthand the brutality of Islamic terror on their shores. Canada, despite a few murders in the name of Islamic terrorism, has not seen the same kind of mass-scale terror incident. Many may argue Canada is not a target, but the attempted terror plots such as the Toronto 18 or the Via Rail bombers tell a story that we've not only been a target, but we've been lucky to stop these plots before they can be carried out. There is no guarantee our authorities will continue to be able to stop each and every plot, as we know that has become very difficult with the influx of migrants from the Middle East, some of who have fought with ISIS and are now coming back to Canada. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson. Thanks a lot for watching. You know, whether it's returning jihadis or this overall global struggle against international jihad, you can count on the Rebel to give you the honest truth and the other side of the story that the media party won't. Make sure you click subscribe to our YouTube channel.